Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching One TV News at 5. I'm Yanni Moutsios. Here are today's top stories. The war in Ukraine is a threat to peace in Eastern Europe and the entire world, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says in an interview with the Greek state broadcasters. More than 5.5 million people have fled Ukraine since the Russian invasion on 24th of February, the United Nations Refugee Agency said. Ukraine claims Russian forces looted 1,000-year-old Greek gold treasures from the city of Melitopolis. COVID restrictions on all flights to and from Greece have been lifted as of May 1st, according to the Civil Aviation Authority. The European Union could phase out Russian oil imports by the end of the year under the latest set of sanctions against Vladimir Putin's war machine being discussed in Brussels. The European Commission may spare Hungary and Slovakia from an embargo on buying Russian oil, now under preparation, wary of how dependent the two countries are on Russian crude, two European Union officials said on Monday. The Commission is expected to finalize on Tuesday work on the next and sixth package of European Union sanctions against Russia over its actions in Ukraine, which could include a ban on buying Russian oil, exports of which are a major source of Moscow's revenue. Hungary, heavily dependent on Russian oil, has repeatedly said it would not sign up to sanctions involving energy. Slovakia is also one of the European Union countries most reliant on Russian fossil fuels. To keep the 27-nation bloc united, the Commission might offer Slovakia and Hungary an exemption or a long transition period, one of the officials said. The oil embargo is likely to be phased in any way, most likely only taking full effect from the start of next year, officials said. The war in Ukraine is a threat to peace in Eastern Europe and the entire world, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in an interview with the Greek state broadcaster RT, in which he stressed that the war will end when Ukraine wins. Zelensky also answered questions about the video aired during his address to the Greek House of Commons and explained the position held by the Azov battalion, which he stressed was now integrated into the Ukrainian armed forces. The Ukrainian president pointed out that Russia had launched a full-scale assault and occupation of Ukrainian territory on February 24th, violating its territorial integrity and conducting an illegal invasion, and that this war was still ongoing as Russia remained on Ukraine's territory and was still putting pressure on Ukrainian forces. Nothing is over yet, he stressed. Zelensky said that civilians that had taken refuge in the Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol were afraid to come out because they are being killed, while noting that United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres had given him guarantees that non-combatants in Mariupol can be evacuated to Ukrainian territory. Zelensky noted that the damage inflicted by the Russian invasion on homes and infrastructure exceeded $600 billion, without even counting the occupied areas where the extent of the damage could not be calculated. He said this amount only concerned the losses of the state, while the losses of the private sector were estimated to exceed $1 trillion. Regarding the Azov battalion, he said this formed a part of the regular Ukrainian armed forces. He explained that a lot of information had emerged from the Russian side at the start of the war concerning volunteer groups and volunteer Ukrainian battalions. Coming up next, more than 5.5 million people have fled Ukraine since Russian invasion on 24th of February, the United Nations Refugee Agency says. Civilians evacuated from the Azovstal steel works in Mariupol are expected to arrive in the Ukraine-controlled city of Zaporizhia on Monday as part of an effort led by the Red Cross and the United Nations. One group from the besieged plant has also arrived in the village of Bezimen in Russia-controlled territory in Ukraine. Mariupol City Council separately said an evacuation convoy coordinated by the United Nations and the Red Cross would also be able to leave the city on Monday. Now, on the same issue, more than 5.5 million people have fled Ukraine since Russian invasion on 24 February, the United Nations Refugee Agency said. The statistics are compiled from a variety of sources, mainly data provided by authorities from official border crossing points, the agency said. More to come. Ukraine claims Russian forces looted 1,000-year-old Greek gold treasures from the city of Melitopolis. King Philip and Queen Mathilde, the royal couple of Belgium, arrived in Greece on Monday for an official visit between May 2nd and May 4th at the invitation of President of the Hellenic Republic, Katerina Sakelaropoulou. The Belgian royals laid a wreath at the monument to the unknown soldier, followed by an official reception ceremony at the presidential mansion. King Philip and Queen Mathilde have been awarded a medal, followed by a meeting between the Belgian royals, President Sakelaropoulou and Pavlos Kotsonis. The Belgian royal couple met with Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis and Mareva Grabowski-Mitsotakis. The two delegations held talks immediately after with the Prime Minister. King Philip and Queen Mathilde are to visit the liquefied natural gas terminal at Revithousa on Wednesday morning. Stay with us, there is more to come. COVID restrictions on all flights to and from Greece have been lifted as of May 1st, according to the Civil Aviation Authority. In Mariupol, the town that has been hammered for weeks by Russian forces, officials said that Russian agents broke into an art museum and stole masterpiece paintings, a famous sculpture, and several highly valued Christian icons. On Saturday, Ukrainian officials said that more than 250 cultural institutions had been damaged or destroyed. According to Leila Ibrahimova, the director of the Melitopol Museum of Local History, the trouble started in late February when Russian forces sailed the airport and took over the city. Soldiers went on a rampage, smashing into supermarkets, stores and homes. Leila Ibrahimova, the director of the Melitopol Museum, attempted to hide prized rare collection with gold ornaments from the Scythians, a nomadic people that founded a rich, powerful empire centered in the Crimean Peninsula, which is considered to be priceless. In mid-March, Ms. Ibrahimova said Russian troops burst into her house with assault rifles, threw a black hood over her head and kidnapped her. On Wednesday, she received a call from the caretaker at the museum informing her that at least 198 gold items, including ornaments in the form of flowers, gold plates, rare old weapons, and 300-year-old silver coins and special medals, have been looted by Russian forces. She also said many of the gold artifacts had been given to the Scythians by the Greeks. COVID restrictions on all flights to and from Greece have been lifted as of May 1st, according to the Civil Aviation Authority. Passengers and employees departing or arriving on board foreign and domestic flights will only be required to wear a face covering while en route and inside the airport facilities. That's all from us for now. Next news bulletin at 6 o'clock in Greek. Thank you for watching.